can I take you from energy to euthanasia? I saw the film Fade to Black, the most extraordinary documentary film, fully crowd-funded. It charted the struggle, the battle of dealing with bureaucracy and politicians of Peter Short, an outstanding Victorian, his wife Elizabeth Short here in Canberra last night with the filmmaker Jeremy Irvine. What do we need to do, and what do you suggest has to happen relating to the Andrews Bill that was introduced in 1995 and the Northern Territory legalised euthanasia? What are you calling for, David Leyonhjelm?
I have another bill which I am pushing the government very hard on to allow it to be debated and voted on as a free vote. And that my bill will basically repeal the Andrews Bill and allow the ACT and the Northern Territory to legislate, if they wish to, on the subject of assisted suicide. This is a subject pretty close to my heart, as a matter of fact. I think it's unconscionable for the government to say to us, well, you're allowed to kill yourself, but as soon as you get too ill and feeble to do it, you're not allowed to help, not allowed to ask anybody for help, or that if they do help you, they're in serious trouble. Now, at the end of the day, euthanasia, as some people call it, I prefer it, assisted suicide, is a state and territory issue. It's not the federal jurisdiction, so there's a limited amount that I can do. But it would have a very strong symbolic effect on the debate in this country if the Andrews Bill was to be repealed, so that the ACT and Northern Territory would be free to consider whether or not to introduce legislation. Of course, we have seen the states debating legislating assisted suicide over the last 6 months or so. South Australia, Victoria and New South Wales have all had debates on it. So far, none of them have progressed, although it's starting to look pretty much as if Victoria might be the first to go there. Highly regulated, very, very regulated approach, and very medicalised as well. Not optimum from my point of view, but you have to start somewhere. And one of the benefits of having a federation, if we're ever going to make a federation work in the way it's intended, is that we are able to do different things in different states and see what the result is. The thing about assisted suicide is what's, the slippery slope argument, and basically coercing Granny into ending her life so someone can inherit her house. And so everybody has their own ideas about safeguards. What do you need to do to stop Granny from being pressured into ending her own life if she doesn't want to really do it? So everybody's going to have their own ideas about how to prevent that sort of thing from happening. And the right thing to do is to let each state debate it, work out what they think those safeguards ought to be, and then see how it goes. And if it turns out that one is a bit too restrictive, then they can loosen it a bit and change their criteria. Or if one's gone too far and it looks like Granny is getting pressured and they're getting away with it, then things have to be tightened up. But at the moment, we're not, we haven't even crossed that first hurdle, although, as I said, Victoria might be the first.
Thank you so much for your time this morning, and appreciate you joining us on 2CC Breakfast.
My pleasure.
Thank you. Senator David Leyonhjelm, Liberal Democrat Senator for New South Wales. If you're concerned about someone in your family, concerned for your own life, 13 11 14 Lifeline. Fade2blackmovie.com to get more information on the documentary film shown at the Dendy Cinema here in Canberra. Hundreds of Canberra